The race for answers is on, and the tension in the paddock is reaching an all-time high. Formula One has officially pulled the trigger on a series of critical rule changes for 2026 after a bumpy start to the season left fans and experts questioning the new hybrid power units. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem is stepping in with immediate adjustments starting in Miami to fix energy usage limits and tighten up safety protocols. It is a massive pivot, designed to keep the competition fierce and the racing clean as these high-tech machines evolve on track.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
But the drama doesn't stop at the rulebook because the drivers themselves are sounding off. Nigel Mansell has weighed in on the recent chatter surrounding Max Verstappen, dismissing the talk of him quitting as mere rhetoric while confirming that the reality is far more complex. Mansell suggests that the current state of Formula One has left the entire grid feeling disgruntled, proving that even the fastest pilots on the planet are struggling to balance their competitive fire with the frustrations of an increasingly complicated sport. Adding his voice to the growing chorus of dissent is none other than the legendary Sebastian Vettel. The four-time world champion is sounding a loud alarm, warning that the current trajectory of the 2026 technical regulations risks stripping away the very DNA and heart of Formula One. Vettel argues that while the cars might be engineering marvels, the reliance on complex energy harvesting is turning racing into a chore rather than a test of pure speed, leaving veterans like him deeply concerned about the sport's future identity. The debate over what defines the sport has triggered a massive retrospective across the community. Whether it is the ghost of past controversies like the Halo debate or the modern complaints from figures like Ayao Komatsu and Charles Leclerc about what constitutes a real race, the question remains: is the sport really losing its soul or just growing pains? We want to know your take on the future of the grid. Smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the high-speed drama unfolding every single week. Ever feel like Formula One is constantly chasing its own tail, trying to balance cutting-edge innovation with the raw thrill of wheel-to-wheel racing? Well, it seems the FIA is doing just that again. We are only a few months into the 2026 season, and the governing body has already pulled the trigger on a series of urgent rule changes starting this May in Miami. It is a bold, necessary move that proves even the pinnacle of motorsport doesn't always get it right on the first try. The core of the problem? Those brand new hybrid power systems. They were meant to be the future, but instead, they turned drivers into glorified energy accountants, forcing them to hold back rather than attack. It killed the spectacle. With these new adjustments, we are looking at revised energy usage limits designed to let the cars run at full tilt for much longer. It is about bringing the aggression back to the track. But it is not just about power. The FIA is also doubling down on safety with new systems to stop those embarrassing, dangerous slow starts and some much-needed tech to improve visibility when the rain starts pouring down. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem is calling this a sign of their commitment to the sport. And honestly, it is a refreshing change of pace to see them reacting so swiftly to fix the show. Do you think these tweaks will actually save the racing, or is the complexity of these hybrid engines still a ticking time bomb for the sport? Drop a comment below with your take, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the fast lane. Remember, in racing, perfection is a moving target, but the chase is where the magic happens. Ever wondered if the king of the grid is actually ready to walk away? Formula One legend Nigel Mansell is weighing in on the explosive rumors surrounding Max Verstappen, and he has a pretty blunt take on the matter. While Max has been making headlines with threats about potentially leaving the sport due to the constant grind and changing regulations, Mansell suggests we shouldn't necessarily start packing the reigning champion's bags just yet. In his view, this is mostly high-stakes rhetoric, a way for a driver at the top of his game to signal his frustrations with the evolving landscape of modern racing. But here is the real kicker. Mansell admits that this kind of agitation isn't unique to Max. He points out that all F1 drivers are inherently disgruntled. Think about it. These are elite competitors living under an immense microscope, trapped in a relentless, high-pressure machine that never stops turning. It is the classic tension between wanting the prestige of the sport and hating the politics that come with it. So, is Max really fed up, or is he just playing the game as well as he drives? Let me know your take in the comments below. Do you think a world champion would truly walk away from F1 in their prime, or is this just the price of doing business? Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the drama of the paddock, because in this sport, the silence is often just as loud as the engines. Is Formula One at risk of losing its very soul? That is the question echoing through the paddock as the 2026 technical regulations loom, and frankly, some of the sport's biggest names are sounding the alarm. We aren't just talking about a few minor tweaks. We are talking about a fundamental shift in how these machines operate. The move toward a nearly 50-50 split between combustion and electrical power is a massive engineering feat, sure, but it has triggered a massive headache for the drivers. The heavy reliance on energy harvesting has turned racing into a tactical balancing act, forcing drivers to manage power deployment rather than just hunting for the fastest lap time. Max Verstappen has already made his feelings clear, suggesting that anyone who likes these rules might not actually understand racing, and now, four-time champion Sebastian Vettel is chiming in. Vettel, who has always kept a pulse on the spirit of the sport, fears that these complex regulations are stripping away the DNA of F1. He hits the nail on the head. The heart of racing should be the fastest driver in the fastest machine, period. When the regulations get in the way of pure, aggressive racing, the sport loses its luster. The FIA has acknowledged the backlash, already scrambling to tweak boost power and MGUK deployment to make things more manageable. But is it enough? Vettel hopes these changes can bridge the gap, acknowledging that the drivers are the face of the sport. If the men behind the wheel aren't feeling that raw, adrenaline-fueled excitement, how can we expect the fans in the stands to feel it? It is a delicate balancing act between innovation and keeping the sport authentic. What do you think? Can the FIA save the 2026 season, or is this the start of a new, overly complicated era? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of motorsport. At the end of the day, Formula One needs to remember that technology should serve the racing, not replace the thrill of the chase. Is Formula One losing its soul, or are we just watching the sport grow up? Sebastian Vettel has recently sparked a massive debate, claiming that the upcoming 2026 regulations threaten the very DNA of racing. He argues the sport should be about the fastest driver in the fastest car, not a masterclass in energy management. But here's the million-dollar question. Does F1's DNA actually exist, or is it just a convenient label we use whenever we're uncomfortable with change? If you listen to the paddock, the term DNA gets thrown around like a shield against anything new. From hybrid engines and the life-saving halo, which legends like Niki Lauda and Alain Prost once called a disaster, to safety cars and sprint formats, every evolution has been met with the same outcry. This isn't the F1 I know. Even Ramin Grosjean, who initially hated the halo, probably has a very different perspective on that DNA argument today, considering the device quite literally saved his life in Bahrain. It's easy to look back with rose-tinted glasses, romanticizing a version of the sport that might never have existed in the way we remember it. The truth is, F1 has been reinventing itself since 1950. From six-wheeled experiments like the Tyrrell P34 to radical aero shifts, the only constant in Formula One has been change. When we lean on the DNA argument, we're often just masking our fear of the unknown. Don't get me wrong, there are legitimate concerns about the 2026 rules. The car weight, the artificial feel of racing, and the complex power units are valid talking points that deserve real, substantive criticism rather than a vague appeal to tradition. But let's keep it grounded. Whether you think these new rules are a masterstroke or a massive misstep, one thing is certain. F1 will keep evolving, with or without our permission. What do you think? Is the sport losing its heart, or are we witnessing the next necessary step in racing evolution? Drop a comment below to let us know your take, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the F1 rumor mill, hit that subscribe button for more. At the end of the day, the DNA of F1 isn't written in a rule book. It's written on the track, every single Sunday.